In this section, we'll be looking at functions of multiple variables. The example at the top is a function of two variables. And to indicate this, the machine has two inputs on the left and a single output on the right. The variables involved are x and y. Those are the inputs. And we also have the function f, which could stand for the output. Now, in a simple function like f of x comma y equals x plus y, the rule that the machine is using is just to add the inputs together and then produce one number at the output. As you can see, the notation is similar to what would be used for a one-variable function. And functions can have 1, 2, 3, or even more variables. Take a look at some familiar formulas from math. They're actually multivariable functions. For example, area equals base times height. Or accumulated account value equals principal times 1 plus the interest rate over the frequency of compounding raised to the frequency of compounding times time. That's a function of 4 variables. And volume equals pi r squared h is a function of 2 variables. Let's write each of these in function notation. So for the formula area equals base times height, if we were to rewrite it, showing the input variables, it would look like this. We just need parentheses next to the function, and we want to list all the variables that are inputs to that function. In this case, there's just 2 input variables. But check out the formula a equals p1 plus r over n to the nt. There are 4 variables in this function. So to write it, we would do this. Try this one for yourself for a moment. How would you write it, making it clear what the input variables are? Well, I would list r and h as the input variables, and then just write the formula. Now it's clear to the reader that it's a function of 2 variables. Let's try to evaluate a function of 2 variables, x and y, where the x is -5 and the y is 8. I'll start by just rewriting the formula. And now I'll remove the variables and put parentheses in their place. And it's telling us that x should be -5, so put a -5 wherever the x appears. And it's saying that y should be 8. So our final answer is 3. Even though a multiple variable function can have more than one input, it will still only have one output. Try number 2 for yourself. In number 2, the function multiplies two inputs x and y together, resulting in just one number. So once again, I'll leave an empty space wherever the variables were. Let's plug in our x of -3 and our y of -2. I get +6. So now we can put it all together and just write this. And in words, it would be read f of -3, -2 is 6.